wasn't planning on starting this video here. I was planning on starting it over in that corner over there, waking up to some beautiful amazingness in Tucumcari. There's a museum that I was planning on going to that I have tried to go to like 10 times now, and every time I try to go, something comes up. Either I wake up too early, or the museum is closed, or in this case, the gas station that I was going to park at is not allowing people to park here overnight. I don't know why. I have no idea. But I have pulled up I-Overlander and found another spot. Through this section, it's a little bit harder. There's not as many places that you can pull off, and there is still snow on the ground, so I don't want to get too far away from the highway just for safety. So that eliminates a couple places that I know about. But I do have, I think, an idea, but that means I'm going to have to buckle down and drive for a while, and I'm going to be real tired. I'm going to be really, really tired. So in the morning, I'm hoping that I wake up and everything is fine. I have no idea what we're getting into tomorrow, but tonight I know that I'm going to be driving 3 more hours. That's right, 3 more hours. There are 2 places in New Mexico I do not stay. I do not stay in Albuquerque, and I do not stay in Gallup. Let me tell you why I don't like Albuquerque. There are lots of cool things to do in Albuquerque. I've been to a balloon museum. There's, of course, the balloon festival. There's all sorts of cool other places that you can visit. However, unfortunately, in the situations that I have experienced personally in Albuquerque, I pulled into a campsite that was just a little bit out of town, and there was drug paraphernalia all over the ground. Needles, not good. Another place that I went to, you could see that there was broken glass everywhere. Usually that's not an indicator of a positive thing. It wasn't like beer bottle glass, it was like window glass. So I was like, no, probably not going to stay here for this one. And then I started looking to see if my experience there was unique, and it is not. There's entire message boards that you can find with van life information, people chatting about different things that they've experienced. One of those boards that I belong to, people were talking about the bad things they had experienced in Albuquerque, everything from people trying to drop down their catalytic converters while they were in the van, to one girl went into a laundromat, came outside, her tires were gone. A lot of people talking about people coming up directly to your van that are either intoxicated or on drugs in various places. Obviously, that's not my thing, so I'd prefer not to do that. Now, in Gallup, I have a super personal story, and it was absolutely terrifying. The first time I ever went through the area, I went to a Walmart, and I was just going to pull off, go inside the store, kind of check it out, and if I was tired still, then I was going to rest there. That immediately was derailed. First and foremost, to get to the Walmart, it's like this little complicated mess of getting down there, so you have to commit to it. And I fully committed, went into the parking lot, and in doing so, oh my goodness. Wow, caution tape around a car. Police around the car. Ambulance came to the place. Crime scene detectives. All of these people just start filtering in, and then I see them physically pull a body out of the car, and I was like, what has happened? So I'm just sitting there watching this like, I don't think I need to be here. No, I do not. So I left. And then Riley went there a few years later, and she had pulled in for a nice little rest stop, and in doing so, people started to surround her car, and they looked like they were, the best way she described it was zombies. And we've since discovered that there is a drug called Trank that basically makes you into a zombie, and then you're just kind of there in it, and they just kind of wander around almost like hunched over. They have no spatial awareness. They're in a weird place, and sometimes if they're provoked, they can become violent. And that is very popular in Gallup, New Mexico. We learned that by seeing it firsthand. So in addition to seeing other people talking about these things, witnessed many things that make me think that Albuquerque and Gallup, even though they probably have lovely people who live there, are not places that I personally need to stop while being in a van specific. No, thank you. So we're going past Albuquerque and not quite to Gallup, and I'm gonna get water because I clearly need it. Also, gas was not that expensive here, so it was only about 10 cents more expensive than Texas. So I was able to top off my tank for under 20 bucks. Pretty hard to see, but I'm at Klein's Corner. I decided that I was going to stop off here to take a stretch break. I'm going to put something in the Hot Logic also, just because I'm going to be driving for a little bit longer. So I have it out. It's plugged in. It's already heating up a little bit. So by the time that I get back in the van and turn it on, it'll start cooking, which is exactly what I need right now because I'm tired. I am really tired. Not necessarily tired like, oh no, I'm going to go to sleep or anything like that, but just tired from overstimulation on the road. Additionally, some of the people have been going very fast despite there being like literal snow to the side of the road. So I'm just kind of letting them go, taking a deep breath, being like, okay, cool. I think what I'm about to do is put on my little Cummins beanie here that Road Pro sent me. This thing is awesome. I usually wear my REI one, but it's getting a little stretched out. So this Cummins one is going to be my new black beanie, so to speak. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And while I'm in Klein's corner, maybe I'll find something interesting too. I don't really need anything, but I'm going to go inside. I'm going to stretch, use the restroom, do all the things that we do. But do you guys see this? Do you see this? This is slick. This is slick. So I pulled all the way to the driest one because I'm not trying to fall and hurt myself at the gas station. That would just be weird. I'm like a dragon. I didn't want to be a dragon today though. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, I have the van warming back up. So I'm defrosting the van, aka I'm defrosting my hands. It's 26 degrees outside, so I thought I'd just warm up for a minute first, and then I'll hit the road again, and then I'll be able to feel my hands so I can better grab the wheel. You can see the highway there. People are moving along just fine, so I should be okay. I was just checking a backup plan. I even asked Riley to check on a backup plan for me, because I was like, okay, the roads are getting, you know, I've seen more snow. I had gotten completely away from it, and then I started seeing it again, and I was like, I don't know how I feel. So while I was driving, I just asked Riley through a voice memo, hey, can you please look up iOverlander and Allstays to see if there's any other option that might work better, that might be a little closer. And when she looked it up, she was talking about, like, in Albuquerque, there's a lot of different places that are on there, but a lot of them have either old reviews or meh reviews. Neither one of us, again, like Albuquerque. So I was like, I really don't want to stay there, but if I have to, I will, hesitantly. But if it tells you anything, everything basically that I would feel safe at doesn't allow camping. So like the Cracker Barrel along 40 does not allow camping. The Cracker Barrel north of the city, which I would also feel comfortable at, hasn't had a review since 2021, and that's kind of a jut off of the main road. So if I were to do that, that would be an investment of being in traffic and things like that, which I know I could totally do, but if I get over there and then I can't stay, there's just really no point. There's also a truck stop that's just south of the city a little bit. It has ho-hum reviews. So I think that I would be better off just going to casino. I hope I'm going to be better off going to the casino. I'm noticing more and more that places that are facing the major roads, 40, 10, they're starting to allow less and less people to camp there. And I think it's because of the overuse of those areas, or the people who abuse those spaces by staying more. It's also to keep people away from their businesses at night because drug use and things like that. And with everyone flocking to Arizona every single year, there's a lot of people who travel on these roads, but there's a lot of people who don't necessarily always pick up after themselves, or they don't dump their waste elsewhere. They might dump it in the parking lots. And I've seen a lot of that. So for anyone who is saying, no, nomads are great. We are. But not all of us are great. In every group, there's going to be some bad eggs. And unfortunately, those bad eggs are what are messing it up for everyone. And it's not just the homeless people. It's not just the people who are doing drugs. It's literally nomads in some cases. I go out to campsites where there are nomads everywhere. And then I just look around. And a lot of that garbage that's left is nomad trash. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We want to keep spaces open. Anyway, with that said, I have about an hour and a half left, so wish me luck. Okay, Riley found a suggestion that she didn't realize was so close. So I'm going to be driving 28 minutes toward that destination, and it's a Walmart. So we'll see if this works out. She said she stayed here before. They had a review from just December, so that's good. And by the way, the van is a toasty 79 degrees right now, which feels fabulous. Is this going to work? I have no idea, but are we going to give it a shot? Yes, we are. We are. Kind of harder to see, but every so often you see some flakes just starting to fall in front of the lights there. Okay, I'm here. I'm putting up my window covers. I need to work on these a little bit still. I have some gaps, but I'm here and I made it. And there is the suicide awareness bus that comes to Schoolypalooza over there. So I've seen them before. I don't know them personally, but cool. I feel good that they're here. And they clearly have like a chimney stove or something coming out, and it doesn't seem to be a problem because they're in their space. There's also another van kind of like, it's kind of like in this direction. So there's that. The only concerning part is this cart right here, because I know somebody's going to be coming by the van in a little bit, and if I hear them, it might freak me out a little bit. But we're in Edgewood, and this is the Edgewood Walmart. There's lots of semis here, so I do feel safe. It's very well lit, so I again feel safe. There's also 2 cops here, so I hope that they don't do like the knock, but I guess we'll find out. You can see all of them over there with the semis, another one right here. And they're not all Walmart trucks, so that made me feel a little bit better, although a lot of them are. Sometimes Walmart will allow other trucks to stay, and sometimes they only allow Walmart trucks, but I think we're good. Okay, I've got this all plugged in so I can finish up cooking while I am getting the rest of the van ready. Currently sitting on my floor poof, and let me tell you, it's a lot warmer than the ground. It's definitely keeping my bottom half a little bit warmer. Now it is 60 degrees currently in the back of the van, but that's going to start dropping as soon as that heat starts to dissipate. So by then I need to have everything kind of in place, because tonight is going to be like 19 degrees. So we'll see how cold it is when we wake up in the morning. Also, I'll be able to from here assess if the road is clear or not and how I need to go on. But I'm going to start off by taking off my bracelets, moving some things around, getting myself cozy for nighttime, and then, well, that'll be it. Oh goodness. Some days are just stressful and challenging, and today has been both of those things for sure. It was definitely not my normal travel day. I went to a place that I'm used to and it just wasn't available. I saw 4 or 5 different rest areas all closed along Route 40, and those were places that when I first started traveling were open. I'm not sure if they've just had budget cutbacks or if it's because it's winter and they don't want to have the water on, but I will say this, these places have been looking like they weren't in use for a bit. It's not just during the winter months. When I came through during the later portion of last year, guess what? Those were closed too. So I think it's more about the situation of what's going on in the world. But it's not just the rest stops or the truck stops. It's a lot of places. In fact, the New Mexico State Park System has changed their entire way that they're doing things, because they found that through kind of looking into some things that they were realizing some people were taking advantage of the park system by getting this annual pass and then staying at a single park for 2 weeks and then moving on to another park for 2 weeks. And for those people who were buying the upgraded services like the sewage and the water, that was beneficial to the state park system. But to those who were staying in the primitive sites and not paying any additional fees, it was a very inexpensive way to live during the cooler months of the year, whenever you could just go and enjoy New Mexico. And because of that, unfortunately, they were seeing themselves kind of realizing that the financial side of that wasn't really adding up. That's what a lot of places are doing. They're realizing, like at the LTVAs, that in order for them to make upgrades and things like that, that people are staying for an extended amount of time, so they're going to start charging them more. And as much as that's not fun, and as much as those areas are resources to everyone, there's also public spaces that are free spaces. So we need to make sure that we protect the free spaces, because if we're not able to use those paid spaces because they're going up, we need to be able to stay somewhere, and we need to foster the spaces better. And this is one of the things that I've learned over 8 years of travel and seeing countless places just close down because people have come in there and either rutted them up by driving whenever they're not supposed to when it's wet, or leaving campfires burning and causing actual fires. Yeah, that's happening. People junking up places, leaving their trash, people digging cat holes, not covering cat holes, leaving toilet paper in places that they shouldn't, and just overall just not being good stewards to the land. So if we want these places to be here for all of us, we need to take care of them for all of us. And then, who knows, maybe places like New Mexico won't be quite as hard to camp in along I-40. I know that this is just my personal experience, and your experience may be completely different. Some of the places may be open when you come through, but I will say it's a cautionary tale that more and more as we're on the road, we're seeing this happen. Now, with that said, I've already dropped 2 degrees and I need to get cozy. Because I know it's going to be chilly, I have several layerable options, and I have one more that's actually tucked away right now. But I'm going to start off just under this blanket right here just to stay warm while I'm in the physical van. And then I have my heating blanket here. I have my big blanket here. And then I also have my little panda over here. So depending on how cold I feel like I am when it's time for bed, I will proceed accordingly. Far with just my regular jammies and this one blanket and a beanie, I feel pretty good because it's still warm in the van. I ran the heater for a bit before coming to the back just to make sure I pushed that heat back so that I could have a nice, comfortable dinner time without having to be bundled up. But after dinner time, I will slip into those other layers. I also have some gloves and some hand warmers that I can use if I need to. I have on thick thermally socks, which are really great. They're very nice for keeping my toes warm. So I have found that if I can keep my hands, head, and feet warm, that the rest of me, if I can just kind of regulate it, I can get there. I sleep with a blanket under me during the winter as well as on top. And if I'm in super, super cold temps, I have an additional heating blanket that I can put below me as opposed to a regular blanket. So I have lots of options. The question is it done yet? I hope it is because I'm hungry, but you never know. Condensation, so that's a positive. Now the question is, yes, it's warm. Okay, I can eat this. Now this is buffalo mac and cheese, which I've added a little bit of blue cheese to, so whenever I eat it, it's just that perfect bite of buffalo and blue cheese, and it's so good. It's so creamy. So I'm gonna eat my dinner, get my life together, hit the hay, and tomorrow we're gonna start this whole thing over again. Remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I'm hoping I wake up to a decent day and not a snow day, because otherwise I'm living at a Walmart for a day. I don't love that. Until next time, bye.